Alrighty, folks, I'm feeling great on a Friday morning because we're coming fresh off a perfect 5-0 day yesterday on patreon.com/rockpage. And the only way you could have accessed all of those winners is to be a chairman member on my website. I realize I didn't produce a free video here on YouTube. You missed out. If you were signed up on Patreon, you wouldn't have missed anything. We did our regular podcast. We had our regular plays. Folks, you missed out yesterday. The chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, guys, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Yeah, we might not have had a free video yesterday here on YouTube, but we did have our podcast yesterday on my website, and everybody who's a chairman member, they were able to access that video. Now, guys, we also improved to 8-1 in my last 9, $1.99 daily best plays on that site as well. And the good news is, folks, I have another $1.99 daily best play going off here this evening. And yep, you guessed it, the $1.99 daily best play costs just $1.99 for 30 days of service. I currently have over 550 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. I'll tell you what, if you missed out on those plays, if you're not a chairman member, I feel sick for you because yesterday was an extremely good day if you were tailing my plays. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Tigers at the Marlins, 6:40 p.m. East. Miami's the $1.45 favorite, total 7.5. Braxton Garrett for Miami, Reese Olson for Detroit. Now, Olson's recorded only one win this season, and he has an ERA of 4.53. Now, the Tigers also can't hit for shit. They're averaging just 7.4 hits a game in their travels. They're facing Braxton Garrett, who's got a handful of wins and a whole bunch of strikeouts. The lefty's got 111 strikeouts this year and a 1.19 whip. Now, the Marlins also have the best hitter in baseball in their lineup. Of course, that's Luis Ariz, who hits a league best 376. And he's got a wins above replacement average of 4.1. Now, John Birdie's just 3 points shy of the 300 mark with regard to batting average. And no real surprise here, folks. The Fish are in the top 5 of the majors in home hits per game. Garcia and Chisholm are still out. Jesus Sanchez is questionable. The Marlins' last 3 straight at Lone Depot Park fell under the total. Meanwhile, the Tigers went 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Marlins minus 145, under 7.5. Next ball game, Yankees O's, 7:05 Eastern first pitch. The New York Yankees are minus $1.25, totals 8.5. Garrett Cole for New York, Grayson Rodriguez for Baltimore. And even though Gray Rod hasn't been great, he's recorded only 2 losses in 56 innings. Now, the O's do tend to hit the baseball when Rodriguez makes the start. They're averaging 6 runs a game when he throws out the first pitch. Ryan O'Hearn, he's got an OPS nearly in the 900s. The first baseman's currently hitting 308. Meanwhile, Austin Hayes, he's the team leader in hits. They're facing a Yankee club who lost 5 out of their last 9. And they have all kinds of problems at the plate. These Yankee batters average fewer hits per 9 than any other lineup in the AL East. And out of 30 divisional ball games this year, the Bombers got the W only 13 times. Bowers and Judge are questionable for the Pinstripers. Gunnar Henderson's questionable for Baltimore on the other side. Now, the O's last 3 at Camden Yards did get over the total. They're also 61% to the over against divisional competition. Give me Baltimore plus 105, over 8.5. Next ball game, Battle of PA. When the game starts, when you see the score at the top of the screen, it's going to say poop. It's going to say P for Philadelphia, 0-0, P for Pittsburgh. I'm just saying. Very immature. I know that. But be on the lookout for poop later tonight. Anyway, Phil's Pirates, 7:05 East. Philadelphia's $1.55, totals 8.5. Zach Wheeler for the Titans, Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh. And even though Keller's been solid this year, he does now have an ERA officially in the 4s. Now, as a team, the Buccos have had all kinds of issues at the dish. These guys are in the bottom 5 in the National League in hit production at home. They're facing Zach Wheeler, who's got 134 strikeouts and a 1.14 whip. And when Wheeler makes the start, the Phils love playing for the guy. They got the W in 7 out of their last 8 Wheeler starts. Bryson Stott's hitting an even 300 at the plate. 3.1 wins above replacement for the second baseman as well. Meanwhile, Kyle Schwarber leads the club in homers, RBI, and runs scored. Now, the Phils have been incredibly tough to get out on the road. These guys are in the top 5 in the National League in hits per game while traveling. Christian Pache is still out for Philly. Hayes and Bay still out for Pittsburgh. The Buccos saw their last 4 straight at PNC Park get over the line. They're also 7-3 the over in their last 10 contests at any location. Give me Philadelphia minus $1.55, over 8.5. Next matchup, Angels Blue Jays 707 East. Toronto's $1.90 at home, totals 8.5. Kevin Gausman for Toronto, Lucas Giolito right into the fire here for the Angels. And I do actually think this is a pretty good spot for Giolito to make his Angels debut. LA's won a whole bunch of games this month while heavily injured. They've also committed to Shohei Ohtani, which I think was just a ruse by other teams. All the media outlets were saying, oh, they should deal Shohei. Shohei's on the move. Like, I never thought Shohei was on the move. Like, what other team other than Baltimore is going to let this guy pitch and hit every single day and play every day? None of them. They're not. That's the agreement that his agents had with Los Angeles. It was a special agreement that this guy was going to pitch and hit and play every day. And actually, when he first came over to Major League Baseball, I was like, yeah, they'll do that for a year or two, and then it'll be over with. They'll pull back the horses. No. Dude, yesterday, Shohei pitched in Game 1, threw an absolute gem, and then got back into the starting lineup in Game 2 and had a multi-home run game. No other club, no other organization is going to let this guy perform and do what he does as he is doing with the Angels organization. And I'm telling you, the Angels, I don't think had any intention on dealing the guy. I think that was other teams, other ownership, chirping in the ear of MLB Network, Mad Dog Radio, saying, hey, let's try to generate some interest in them dealing this guy. I don't think they had any intention of dealing Shohei. Like, I think the Angels want to make him an Angel for life. But anyway, that's my rant about Shohei. Just an all-time talent. The absolute, I don't want to say GOAT, but he's been really special. But anyway, Angels, they've won a whole bunch of games this month while injured. Honestly, the X factor, Shohei, if he's in the lineup, you got a chance to win. Now, Giolito, he comes into today's start. He had 131 strikeouts with the White Sox this year and an ERA in the 3s, and he had little support offensively. The Red Hot Angels, they won their last 4 straight, 8-1 straight up in their last 9. Of course, Shohei has 38 homers, 80 RBI, and an OPS in the thousands. Mickey Moniak's hitting .335 with an OPS close to 1,000 as well. They're facing a Blue Jays club who lost 5 out of their last 9. And they've actually got a losing record this year against AL competition. These guys also refuse to win for Gausman, which is a crime because Gausman is pitching his brains out. I mean, this guy is throwing well. But the Jays lost their last 4 straight when Gausman made the start. They were actually shut out twice during that stretch. Like I said, it's a crime because this guy is really throwing some cheddar. Now, in their last 10 meetings with the Angels, these Toronto pitchers allowed nearly 7 runs a game on average, so they historically have problems with this Angels lineup. And as usual, guys, Trout, Rendon, Drury, and Adele are all still out for Los Angeles. They've been out for what seems like a month already. Really doesn't matter. The Angels do nothing but win without them. 6 out of LA's last 10 ball games got over the total. They're also 65% to the over in all of their games when they bat first. Give me the Angels plus 1.5, over 8.5. And the other thing, too, that proves that we're going to deal Shohei away, and it was all just farce. Not only did they not deal Shohei, they've acquired talent. These guys are shoving all in by the deadline. Like, they couldn't be doing more opposite than what these media schmucks have been saying. Oh, they're going to deal Shohei. It's crazy. That was the worst take by everybody. Everybody was saying Shohei's going to go. How? Why? What team other than, like I said, maybe Baltimore is going to let him do what he does? Pitch, throw, hit in the lineup every single day. Nobody's going to do it. Anyway, next game. Guardians, White Sox, 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Cleveland's $1.40, totals 10. Xavier Curry for the Guardians, Touki Toussaint for Chicago. And even though Toussaint's looked real good, he has struggled a little bit with control. And he's yet to record a W through a handful of appearances this year. He does not have a win on the record yet. Now, these Chicago hitters, they've also been pretty bad at guaranteed rate field. They're in the bottom 5 in run production on their own diamond. They're facing Xavier Curry, who's yet to record a loss in 54-plus innings. The righty's got an ERA in the 2s along with a 1.16 whip. Meanwhile, at the plate, the Guardians are impossible to strike out. These guys strike out fewer times per contest than any other lineup in baseball. Jose Ramirez, he's been rung out just 43 times in nearly 400 at-bats. He's got the highest wins above replacement on the roster right now. Meanwhile, Josh Naylor, he's got the 4th most RBI in the majors, 7th highest batting average. The Guardians' last 4 straight on the road did get over the total. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Now, Chicago saw their last 3 straight on the south side get over the line. Give me the Guardians minus $1.40, over 10. Next matchup, Nats-Mets, 7:10 p.m. East. The Mets are the $1.90 favorite at home. Totals 8.5. Max Scherzer for New York. Mackenzie Gore for Washington. Gore's got a handful of wins on the season and 122 strikeouts. The Nats have also been a great run line cashing team against the NL East. They're actually 10-3 against the number in their last 13 divisional road games. Of course, they're led by Lane Thomas, who has 118 hits. He also leads the club in runs scored. Meanwhile, Jeimer Candelario, he leads the roster in walks and has 172 total bases. Now, they're facing Max Scherzer, who ain't the same. Not the same guy. I know he's getting older. I understand that. But as he gets older, not the same guy. Comes into today's ball game with an ERA of 4.20. I don't think people fear him. I don't think people are afraid of him. He's still good, but ain't the same. Now, the Mets have taken the loss in 3 out of Scherzer's last 5 starts. These guys simply can't hit at Citi Field. They're averaging fewer hits a game at home than any other lineup in the National League. Marte and Guillorme are still out for New York. 4 out of the Mets' last 5 in Flushing, Queens fell under the number. They're also 7-3 the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Nationals plus 1.5, under 8.5. Next ball game, Brewers, Braves, 7:20 p.m. East. Atlanta's $1.60, totals 10. Yanni Chirinos for the Braves, Adrian Hauser for Milwaukee. Now, Hauser's been a bit of an anomaly here. He's not going to lose you many games, but the righty's recorded only 3 wins and 63 innings of work this year, and he also has a sloppy 1.51 whip. Very interesting. Good ERA, bad whip. Now, I'm not sure the Brewers have the horses to outrun the Braves offensively either. Even if Hauser's good, or if Hauser struggles, they're going to have to rely on offense, and I just don't think I don't think they can keep up with Atlanta. Milwaukee's a bottom 3 hit-producing lineup in the entire major leagues. They're facing a Braves club who can outscore anyone. These guys lead the National League in run production at home. Ronald Acuna's got the 3rd highest batting average and OPS average in the majors. The right fielder also has 48 stolen bases and a wins above replacement of 5 flat. Like, you can't walk the guy, right? You can't walk him, you can't pitch around him, because if you walk him, he's going to be on second. Like, a walk essentially is a double. That's why this guy is just so good. NL MVP. I can't see any other way. Anyway, Matt Olson, most home runs and RBI in the National League as well. I mean, that's another contender for MVP there, Olson. 3 out of the Braves' last 5 at home got over the line. They're actually 61% to the over in all of their contests at Truist Park this year. Give me the Braves minus 160, over 10. Next matchup, Twins, Royals, 8:10 Eastern first pitch. Minnesota's $1.65, totals 9.5. Sonny Gray for Minnesota, Brady Singer for Kansas City. Now, Singer's got an ERA of 5.55 along with a 1.47 whip. And even if he does throw well here today, the Royals can't score for shit. They're averaging fewer runs a game than any other club in the AL Central. Now, they're going to have to try to hit Sonny Gray here today. And let me just tell you this, that is not going to be an easy task. The righty Gray, he's fanned 110 batters, and he has an ERA of 3.15. Now, these Minnesota pitchers, they've been unhittable on the road this year. They strike out more batters per 9 while traveling than any other staff in the game. And no real surprise here, folks. The Twins allow a league low 7.2 hits a game in their travels. Polanco, Gordon, Lewis, and Miranda are still out. Alex Kirilloff is questionable. The Twins are 67% to the under in their divisional road games. Meanwhile, the Royals saw 3 out of their last 4 at Kauffman Stadium stay under the line. Give me the Twins minus 165, under 9.5. Next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Rays at the Astros, 8:10 p.m. East. Now, both teams are minus $1.10, totals 8.5 runs. Christian Javier for Houston, Shane McClanahan for Tampa Bay. And, of course, this game's a real tough one to handicap. Both clubs with outstanding pitchers on the hill. Tampa Bay's Shane McClanahan comes into today's contest with an ERA in the 2s. And, of course, Houston's Christian Javier, he's 7-2 with a whole bunch of strikeouts. Of course, when it comes to offensive production, both rosters, they have sluggers very capable of doing damage. So, guys, if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line, run line, or total in this one, this game's being featured as my extra daily bet on my website. The extra daily bet's going to cost you just $2.99 for 30 days of service. You're going to get a premium selection every single day during that time frame. And as an added bonus, guys, I'm also going to throw in my daily best play for you absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. So you're actually going to get access to 2 premium plays every single day for the next 30 days. If you sign up for my extra daily bet here today, I think the math works out to be just, I don't know, but it's cheap. But anyway, as far as making a free pick is concerned for this game, can't do it. No free play for that game there. All right, next matchup, Cubs, Cardinals, 8:15 Eastern first pitch. St. Louis is a $1.50 at home, total 8.5. Jordan Montgomery for St. Louis, Drew Smyly for Chicago. Smiley's got 7 wins on the season and 91 strikeouts. The Red Hot Cubs are also on a 6-game winning streak. And they also got the W in 8 out of their last 9. And a lot of that is thanks to these Chicago bats. These guys average 7.8 runs a game in their last 10 outings. Cody Bellinger hits .317 with an OPS in the 900s. Meanwhile, Nico Horner's got the most runs, hits, and RBI on the roster. Now, injury-wise, Rios and Madrigal are still out. Wilson Contreras is questionable for St. Louis. 7 out of the Cards' last 10 got over the number. Meanwhile, the Cubbies are 9-1 to the over in their last 10 themselves. Give me Chicago plus 1.5, over 8.5. Next ball game, A's, Rockies, 8:40 p.m. East. Colorado's $1.20, totals 11. Kyle Freeland for the Rockies, J.P. Sears for Oakland. And even though Sears would probably be serviceable on most other rosters, the Oakland A's obviously just don't want to win for the guy. Out of 111 plus innings of work this year, the lefty Sears recorded only one win. He's officially 1-7 with an ERA in the 4s. Now, the A's still have the worst record in baseball, and they score the fewest amount of runs. Now, they're facing a Rockies team who got the W in 5 out of their last 9. And as bad as their record is, these guys love to hit at Coors Field. They're in the top 5 in the National League in home hits per game. Ryan McMahon's got the most hits in the lineup. Randall Grichuk's hitting .307. Now, injury-wise, C.J. Cron's questionable for Colorado. Chris Bryant's still out. Meanwhile, for Oakland on the other side, Pena, Perez, Smith, Ruiz, and Noda are still inactive. 6 out of Oakland's last 10 ball games fell under the number. Meanwhile, Colorado went 70% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Rockies minus $120, under 11. Next matchup, Mariners, D-backs, 9:40 p.m. East. Seattle's the $1.30 favorite, totals 9 runs. Logan Gilbert for Seattle, Tommy Henry for Arizona. Now, Henry's recorded just 3 losses in 83 innings. And even though the D-backs have struggled recently, it ain't for a lack of offense. These guys are a top 5 run-producing team in the National League. Corbin Carroll scored 75 times this year and has the highest OPS average on the roster. Meanwhile, Ketel Marte's got a 4.2 wins above replacement, and he leads the organization in hits. Now they're facing a Seattle club on the other side who's struggled this year against National League competition. These guys actually have a losing record in their interleague road games. They also have one of the worst hitting lineups in the American League. These guys are in the bottom 3 in the AL right now in hits per game. And of course, they're striking out more times per contest than any other roster in the majors besides one. Pollock and Kelenic are still out for Seattle. J.P. Crawford's questionable. Meanwhile, for the D-backs, Gabe Moreno's inactive. Arizona's gone 75% to the under in their interleague home games. They're also 17-9 to the under in all of their contests against the American League. Give me Arizona plus $110, under 9. Next matchup, Rangers, Padres, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's minus $165, totals 8.5 runs. Joe Musgrove for San Diego. Dane Dunning for Texas. Now Dunning's 8-3 with an ERA of .318. The righties also got a solid 1.17 whip. And even if Dunning has problems with these Padres hitters, the Rangers have the most dangerous lineup in the American League. Adolis Garcia, he has the most RBI in the majors, 7th in home runs. Meanwhile, Marcus Semien has 120 hits on the year and leads the club in runs. They're facing a Padres team who lost 3 out of their last 4. They have all kinds of problems at the plate. San Diego's in the bottom 5 in the National League in hits per game at home. For those who don't know, this absolutely stacked San Diego roster, they're somehow 5 games below 500 right now. Corey Seager's still out for the Rangers. Texas saw the undercash in 5 out of their last 7 Dane Dunning starts. San Diego, on the other side, they've gone 62% to the under against American League competition. Give me Texas plus 1.5, under 8.5. Next ball game should be a good one. Reds, Dodgers, 10:10 p.m. East. The LA Dodgers are minus 230, totals 9.5. Bobby Miller for the Dodgers, Brandon Williamson for Cincinnati. Now, Williamson's got just 2 wins in 58 plus. The lefties also got an ERA of .460. Now, the Reds have certainly had their issues with National League opponents this year. They've got a losing record against NL competition on the road, and much of that is due to pitching. These guys allow more hits a game away from home than most clubs in the National League. They're facing a Dodger club on the other side who's a top 3 run-producing team in the entire league. Freddie Freeman's hitting .328. He is the highest qualifying OPS in the National League. Mookie Betts, he's hit 27 home runs along with 80 runs scored. He's actually got a 4.6 wins above replacement average. Now, the Dodgers also love winning for Bobby Miller. He's 6-1 through 54 plus with a 1.19 whip. Now, Marisnick and DeLuca are out for the Dodgers. Casali's out for Cincinnati. The Dodgers went 8-2 to the over in their last 10 ball games. They're also 6-1 to the over in their last 7 Bobby Miller starts. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5, over 9.5. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Red Sox-Giants game, 10:15 Eastern first pitch. San Francisco's $1.45, total 7.5. Logan Webb for San Francisco, Cutter Crawford for Boston. Now, Crawford's got a losing record on the year, along with an ERA in the 4s. And as good as these Boston bats are at Fenway, well, they haven't done too hot on the road this year. Boston's in the bottom 10 in hit production while traveling. They have to face an 8-win Logan Webb, who's got 136 strikeouts and a 1.12 whip. Now, the Giants also got the W in 6 out of their last 9 Logan Webb starts, and they've certainly had some timely hitting in those victories. Lamont Waite, he is actually the active club leader in walks and runs scored right now. Austin Slater's hitting .298. When it comes to the injury list, Crawford and Estrada are still out for San Francisco. Reese McGuire is still inactive for the Bo Sox. Now, 6 out of Boston's last 10 ball games fell under the total. Meanwhile, San Francisco went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 themselves. Give me San Francisco minus 145, under 7.5. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Miami Marlins minus 145, under 7.5. Baltimore O's plus 105, over 8.5 runs. Philadelphia Phillies minus 155, over 8.5. I went a perfect 5-0 in all of my premium selections on my website yesterday. And the only way you could have accessed all of those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive chairman package on patreon.com/BrockPage. The link for that site is it's in my bio if you're watching here on TikTok. Give me the Angels plus 1.5, over 8.5. Cleveland Guardians minus 140, over 10. Washington plus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. Atlanta Braves minus 160, over 10. Minnesota minus 165, under 9.5. I have no free pick for you in the Tampa Bay-Houston game. Chicago Cubs plus 1.5, over 8.5. Colorado minus 120, under 11. Arizona plus $1.10, under 9. Texas Rangers plus 1.5, under 8.5. LA Dodgers minus 1.5, over 9.5 runs. With my next and final free pick for the video, give me the Giants minus 145, under 7.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. Just one final reminder, guys, if you end up signing up for a membership on patreon.com/BrockPage, just keep in mind you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, guys, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, guys, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube or TikTok. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.